Hello and welcome BitMonger family, Jay Monger with you here today. Hope you guys are all doing well. And in today's video, we're going to take a quick look at Bitcoin. We're also going to do a quick look at the Crypto Market Structure Act and some good news on Solana and where I'm thinking Bitcoin might go in the short term. So let's go ahead and get into it right here. So we can see now Bitcoin is currently trading just over $90,000, guys. And we can see, this is the daily chart, we can see it has been just hovering around this zone for quite a long time. It keeps coming down and hitting right around here at 90K. And I gotta say, this is concerning. This is not a good sign. We can see the volume is going down here as well. I don't like that. We might get a slight relief rally, but we really need to get over 94,000, 93, 94,000 and hold that for a day or two in order for me to even get slightly bullish. Now, if we break down below 90K and we have a daily candle that closes and holds below 90K, I suspect shit could get really bad. And I'm thinking, the first level of area that I would be looking at would be like around 84K. As I've mentioned in previous videos, that is where the average ETF buyer has purchased their Bitcoin at that price level. So would it go down to test that? That makes sense to me. I could see those going down to pressure those peeps and then getting a sell-off. You can go back and look at some of my other videos, but I think my price targets were areas of interest were 84K, 80K, 75K, 69K being the previous all-time high. And then worst, really bad case scenario would be where the total average buyer price is, which is right around 55, 56K. Now, I think we would need the stock market to have a correction for it to get down to those extreme low levels. But honestly, folks, I am concerned about the stock market. I do believe that, and that's why I've been piling into cash. And if we see any kind of bump this week, I'll probably take some more money off the table, because I do predict that in January and February, we are going to have some sort of downturn or correction in the market. A lot of the big corps, Magnificent Seven, AI type of companies, chip makers, what have you, there's some big ones that are coming out with earning results in late January and the first week or two of February. I suspect that some of them are probably going to miss earnings like we saw with Oracle. Let's face it, the market is sketchy right now. We have huge amounts of money going into AI, which I do believe over time is going to pay off. But in the meantime, we have $600 billion going into AI data centers and these types of things, yet these are currently only producing about $20 billion in revenue. So are these valuations acceptable? That is very questionable, and I believe when they miss earnings, I think that we will see a sell-off and a correction. And unfortunately, when that happens, I do not think Bitcoin will be spared. And unless we can get some sort of momentum between now and then, I suspect some hard times, because I don't believe Bitcoin is operating in a bubble, unfortunately. So let's look at this, the Clarity Act. This is a big deal, guys, though. Once this gets signed in, this is going to give more legitimacy. It's going to give more oversight to crypto. So, you can see back here, when was this? Back in, end of July, there was an 83 and 87% chance people thought that this was going to get passed into law in 2025. Now, if you had bet then, you completely lost your ass. You know, the likelihood of it happening today is currently a 7% chance, and I wouldn't even give it that, considering that if it doesn't get past this next week, well, you know, we're going into Christmas and New Year's. Nothing is going to get done, guys. So, unfortunately, this is not going to happen in 2025. It may happen in Q1. I am optimistic about that. There is this video here. I'll give you a quick look on this. This is CNBC, a clip from Senator Gillibrand. Says nothing is holding us up. Progress on crypto market regulation. Let's take a quick look at what they have to say here.
And speaking of that crypto legislation, the Blockchain Association Policy Summit's second day took place today in DC, with speakers including SEC Chair Paul Atkins and several lawmakers. Senators Kirsten Gillibrand, a Democrat, and Cynthia Lummis, a Republican, are two crypto advocates who joined a chat to break down the status of crypto market structure legislation. Senator Gillibrand told the audience this morning that lawmakers are making progress.
So I would say nothing is holding up this bill. We are negotiating in good faith, very constantly. The staff worked all weekend together. We had our first bipartisan meeting last week, which went very, very well. We talked about a number of issues that were really issues of first impression, and all the members had to think about, like, what do I want to do on that issue? So there's still things that we haven't decided what is the right place to come down. But the good news is we're working through each of the issues. And so the Democrats met last night. We gave the Republican staff all of our asks for the last final amount of things that we're hoping to get in the bill. We delivered that set of asks to them last night. And then Cynthia and I and some others are going to meet today, go through some of them. And I'm just very optimistic that this product is going to be so strong when we are finished, because even the House didn't tackle all the issues that we're tackling in this draft.
During the panel, Senator Lummis said her goal is to share a draft of the Senate's version of a market structure bill by the end of this week, then let the crypto industry as well as Republicans and Democrats vet it and proceed to markup next week.
So we can see there, that's really positive news, and I believe that will bring on later crypto adoption. But I do believe in the interim, we are going to experience some rough times. Next thing that I wanted to talk about, guys, is this one here. We got JP Morgan Chase's shift to Solana to start the new era in an on-chain financial instruments. JP Morgan Chase, the country's largest bank, has issued a U.S. commercial paper instrument on the Solana blockchain. That's good. It marks one of the first major debt deals to move onto a public chain, and it's already being viewed as a notable step for the sector. And we can see there's this tweet here from Coin Bureau. The transaction was completed for Galaxy Digital Holdings. And just so you guys know, Galaxy Digital, that's Mike Novogratz, they have a big stake in Solana, so I'm not surprised there. But it also had the backing of Coinbase, and Franklin Templeton bought the issuance, adding more weight to the shift toward public blockchain rails. For many in the industry, the move shows how quickly institutional adoption is widening. The decision also represents a change inside JP Morgan. The bank has spent years building and testing blockchain tools through Onyx, its private network, and with permissioned versions of Ethereum. So guys, this is looking good. It does make me optimistic. I do believe as time goes by, these big institutions will see that Solana is a better product for what they're looking for. It's much faster, it's much cheaper, and granted, back in the day there was some blackouts, but those haven't happened in a long time. The meme coins, I believe, were a stress test to see how well it could handle it, and it passed in flying colors, guys. Back in 2017, there was a thing called CryptoKitties. Most of you probably weren't here back then, but it absolutely clogged the Ethereum system. There's no way Ethereum could handle this kind of volume. And I can tell you right now, guys, in order for it to be the infrastructure for the new financial system, Ethereum's just not going to cut it, guys. And a layer 2 is a band-aid on a problem. And when you use a layer 2, it only makes it much more centralized. So I'm not, really, I'm betting on Ethereum. We'll do okay. I have a small stake in it, but I believe the better risk reward is in Solana, and that's where my money is at. So there you have it, guys. This is not in financial advice, but if we see any kind of spikes, and if you don't have cash for Q1 to buy a potential dip, I personally, that's what I am doing. I am taking money off the table in order to be able to buy it, because I believe that we are going to experience some downshifts. And hey, if I'm wrong, I have no problem to buy back in, and I will admit that I was wrong. But odds are telling me, looking at the chart, looking at the sentiment, I'm looking at other YouTubers that are doing things that are widely popular. I look in the comments, and the sentiment is in the shitter, guys. People are not paying attention. They are feeling really upset. They're angry, and that is a sign, potential sign of a bottom. But I'm going to be very straightforward with you. Even though Bitcoin could fall down more, these little shit coins could fall down much, much more. So keep that in mind if you are bidding on them. Hope you're all doing well. Monger on.